Hey everybody, Dirili here. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Code Realize, Guardian of Rebirth. We are on Impy's path, and I believe we should be nearing the end because we're about to go into battle. Well, sort of battle. We've got this plan going on for the Nautilus. I'm not sure exactly how this is going to work out, but we are about to try to board the Nautilus and send it away up into space to get it out of here. So, sit back, relax, and let me read you a story. The sky darkens. Victoria is in the palace garden, quietly looking on as the airship fills the sky. Next to her is a handmaid, dressed like Cardia, acting as a decoy. She wears a veil and similar clothing. Nemo shouldn't be able to tell unless he sees her close up. Victoria speaks gently to the handmaid, who can't seem to stop shaking. I'm sorry for putting you through this. It's fine. How could I run away when you stand here facing the enemy, Your Majesty? I'm so glad to have such a brave woman as you for a subject. I don't deserve such praise. Thank you. I will do my best to perform my duty. The girl's cheeks are flushed as she glares upward. Victoria smiles and turns her own eyes skyward as well. The black shadow of the steel leviathan navigating the sky is getting bigger and bigger.
Your Majesty, the Nautilus approaches. Evacuate immediately.
I will remain here.
But...
This monster in the air is unlike anything before seen. The soldiers are trembling with fear on the inside. That is why I, as their queen, cannot be the first to flee for cover. In war, Leonhard, it is the side whose spirit breaks first that loses.
Yes, ma'am. Pardon my rudeness.
Leonhard responds to Victoria's smile with a rigid salute. She glares back up at the sky, now filled with steel. It really is terrifying. The sheer appearance of it, and its size, the horror of it hanging overhead. There is no better weapon than this to strip the soldiers of their confidence. If that ship demands that you either obey or fight, it would be difficult to choose the option to resist. Eventually, the Nautilus comes to a stop in the sky. At the same time, a strange noise echoes across the sky.
Hello, people of London. How do you do? It looks like you had no intention of resisting. As your teacher, this makes me extremely happy.
He has some nerve.
Now then, I shall send a small ship your way. Place her on that ship.
Oh, he's being more cautious than I thought. I didn't think that he would come down here himself, but...
By the way, using your body double won't work. We have a Horologium detector with us.
Which means that this is as far as he can be distracted. Victoria raises her state-of-the-art miniaturized aether communication device to her lips. All men, begin the attack! The next instant, sudden explosions go off on the surface of the Nautilus. This sets off a series of explosions all across the surface of the Nautilus. The long-range batteries set up along the outer walls of London are currently all aimed inward, towards Buckingham Palace. All of their guns are firing on the Nautilus. The gun batteries that had been snuck into Buckingham Palace in secret are bought out and begin shooting. With no way to avoid attacks from directly below, the Nautilus is hit by countless shells and is soon covered with smoke. Oh, they aren't bombing us in response. It was something of a gamble, but it seems that Impy Barbicane's prediction was correct. The Nautilus is staggeringly powerful, and the quality of its weapons far outclass anything the British troops can muster. That's the very reason why they cannot bomb the palace right now. With so much cannon fire going up, the bombs would potentially be hit and explode prematurely on the way down. No matter how strong the Nautilus may be, if taking a hit from its own bombs from so close, it cannot possibly avoid damage. Well, let's see what his next move is. Victoria smiles. Use a double of Cardia and lure the Nautilus into range of the cannons. So far, this plan is going better than anyone could have hoped for. However...
I see. The battle commences.
The Nautilus ascends with a roar. From below, it almost looks like a mountain of steel rising into the air. However, this is something of a good sign for the forces defending Britain. If the Nautilus backs off, it must be proof that their attacks are effective. But, of course, there is no way that the Nautilus would simply leave. The invulnerable guns anchored to the bottom of its massive frame swivel to point towards the cannons along London's outer wall. The Nautilus shudders as its guns fire relentlessly, showering the city below it with shells. The outer wall is demolished, smashing the gun batteries along its length as well.
I see. I'd assumed as much, but it really does have immense firepower.
But they're just getting started here as well. The Nautilus continues ascending, as if to shake off the smoke caused by the explosions. Airships rise up from a number of locations throughout London to chase after it. The surviving members of the airborne knights gathered from all around Britain. Their ships are at their most vulnerable when lifting off, but as long as the smoke blocks their line of sight, there is little chance that the Nautilus will attack them.
Your Majesty, Impy Barbicane's special artillery shell has successfully hit the Nautilus.
Upon hearing this news, Victoria smiles behind the fan she uses to cover her mouth.
Excellent work. You've done well. Thank the artillery crew for their service. Yes, ma'am. I will relay your words to them.
Everything is ready. The sky has been tainted by the fire and smoke of battle, signifying the beginning of another fierce fight in the sky.
It's time that you came to regret crossing me.
Victoria looks up at the flying fortress with a wicked smile. It's begun. Impy and I are watching the intense mid-air battle unfold from the vantage point of a street a little distance from London. Explosions go off everywhere overhead, making our eardrums buzz. Fire and smoke blossom over and over, clouding the red sky of the sunset. For now, it appears that everything is going according to plan. But I can't help but wonder how many people are sacrificing their lives in those explosions above us. We need to stop the Nautilus as soon as we possibly can. I grit my teeth, and I stare upward, and Impy quietly clears his throat.
I've received a special message. The special cannon shot was successfully delivered. Looks like a perfect setup.
We look behind us at the single airship that had been prepared for us. It looks like a normal airship, but it's a unique craft that Impy customized in the short time available to him. Lupin and the others are all working to prepare it for takeoff. Once they've finished, this airship is going to carry not just our fates, but the fate of all Britain. I swallow my breath nervously when a small figure approaches me.
Impy, are you sure you don't need me to come?
Deli.
You're both too kind. It's both a benefit and a detriment. Once you come face to face with that madman aboard the Behemoth, I don't think you can bring yourselves to kill him. So, if need be, I can come along and carry out that action in your place. Hold on there, let's back up a little, Deli. You're getting us all wrong.
Impy waves his arms to cut Deli off.
We're not going up there to kill Nemo. We don't have anything personal against him. We're just going to stop him. Well, actually, if you send him up into space and his ship isn't prepared exactly for that, he's going to die anyway, really. So, we pretty much effectively are killing him. Well, unless, like I said, maybe he actually prepared for that contingent of being sent into space, or maybe he prepared for the future intent of going to space. Maybe Impy inspired him with his own speeches about going to the moon. We're going to prove to him that the power of science shouldn't be used like this.
Even when a loved one is taken from you, and your last memento of him perverted like this, you can still say that? You really are quite different from me. Dirili looks at Impy, squinting as if he is staring at the sun. Do you remember when I came to you and asked you if you would join me in avenging our race?
How could I forget? You punched me so hard.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. You continue on your own path. Dirili smiles, looking a little lonely, then turns away from us. Don't die! I still have more to tell you and Van Helsing. We silently watch as Dirili walks away. Not long after, we hear someone call out from the direction of the airship.
Everything's ready. We should get going soon. Looks like it's time.
We stand side by side and slowly walk towards the airship. Impy.
Huh?
Let's promise to make it back together, no matter what. When we get back, I want us to create lots of precious memories together. So many wonderful memories that we'll never be able to leave one another. I probably only said that because I'm feeling so nervous about what's about to happen. My horologium is about to lose its power. I might fall lifeless at any moment, like a puppet whose strings have been cut. That's why, while I still have time, before my lips stop moving, I want to make this promise with Impy. I want to think about him for as long as I can, before my feelings for him stop. When we get back, promise me that you'll never leave my side. Impy looks me straight in the eyes.
I'm sorry, but I can't do that.
I see. You're right. There's no way you could make a promise like that when there's no guarantee that this will work.
Oh no, that's not it. That's not what I meant, when I said that I couldn't do it.
Impy put his arms around my shoulders as I stand there miserably. Then he brings his face close to mine, making sure that I look at him.
I'm not going to be leaving your side from this very moment. You've already given me so many unforgettable memories. I can't live without you already.
Me too. I can't find any meaning in life when you're not with me. I've heard before that the reason why the moon shines is because of the sun's light. And the reason why I can smile is because of Impy. That is what I truly believe.
Hey, why don't you lovebirds save all the mushy stuff for when you get back safe? Let's go! Shall we have a party to celebrate once we're all safe and sound again?
Everyone smiles at us as we hop aboard the airship. The duties we've been given are similar to what we did during the airship race. Impy is at the helm, and I'm his assistant in charge of the ship's altitude. Lupin is the lookout, and Van Helsing is controlling the gas bag. Saint Germain and Victor are in the engine room.
All right then, take off!
The propellers start spinning. The airship slowly rises from the ground and lifts us into the air, into the skies of London, lit by fires of conflict and war. As we ascend, the Nautilus begins to look bigger and bigger. The flying fortress covered the sky already when we were some distance away. But when we get up close, it's no different from a gigantic wall. The British airships fly around it, continuing their assault. Even they look like insects flying around a large flower.
This feels like Independence Day, the movie Independence Day.
Impy, the other airships are distracting the... Suddenly, Impy turns the wheel all the way to one side. I hear a crash, and the airship jolts violently. Ah!
That was close! Damage report!
Impy grabs one of the speaking tubes and shouts into it.
The gas bag's fine. No issues with navigation. Engine room here. No problems. Good! We successfully avoided that one. Did you see my steering technique? There's no time to pat yourself on the back. A monster of a cannon's turning in our direction. Here it comes. I'm way ahead of you. Rapid ascension, please.
Aye, rapid ascension. I pull the lever as far as I can, and the ship immediately begins rising faster. The airship plunges upward into a huge cloud, blocking any view of the cannons. All we can see around us is whiteness. We can't see anything.
They're going to be waiting for us the moment we pop out of this cloud. Cardia, right when we come out, turn that handle on the right as far as you can.
The one on the right. Got it. I can see some light up ahead, and a break in the clouds gradually appears. I use all my might and start turning the handle Impy pointed out to me. Suddenly, the handle locks into place. At that moment, I hear a loud noise from the back of the ship, and we suddenly pick up speed, as if a giant hand was pushing us. Impy, what was that?
Auxiliary propulsion. It lets out a jet of steam, enabling instantaneous acceleration. How about a warning next time, huh? I was almost thrown off the ship.
Even as Lupin is berating Impy, the clouds part completely ahead of us, giving us a view of our surroundings. Impy, several cannons are firing on us.
I know! Evade, evade!
Still half hidden in the wall of clouds, our ship flies through the sky. Thanks to the intense jet of steam, we're able to avoid most of the incoming fire. But the last one hits our gondola near the end. Was that near the engine room? Saint Germain, Victor, are you all right?
Come on, say something!
The lack of response makes us imagine the worst. But in a moment, we hear a cool, collected voice from the other end of the tube.
I hit my head, but otherwise I survived.
I'm so glad.
Impy, that hit cost us one of our engines. It's too dangerous to charge in like this.
We've really closed in on the Nautilus, and it hovers before us, blocking out everything else in sight. This means that we're clearly visible to them as well. I get chills, feeling that at any second, those guns will turn to point directly at me. We haven't been completely captured yet, but...
It's only a matter of time before they see us. What now, boss? I want you to try to maintain this distance from them as best we can. That's fine by me, but if things go wrong, then we get shot down immediately. You're right, but London's defensive systems are completely destroyed, and the airborne knights are at a disadvantage. If we miss this chance, we won't get another one.
The voices of the other members of the crew reach Impy at the helm through the voice tubes. He seems to think for a second. He glances at me, then looks directly at the Nautilus and speaks with determination.
We're heading for the Nautilus. We have to go.
But Impy...
Don't forget, this is our last chance to stop the Nautilus, but at the same time, it's also our last chance to save her.
I hear everyone gasp over the voice tubes.
Isn't that right, Cardia?
Oh, we should head back. I mean, we should keep going, but I feel like maybe I should say head back to... Well, no, this is for everybody. We should say keep going, because if we have to sacrifice ourselves to save Britain, I guess, you know, that would be a good thing. It's not for me. It's for Britain. For the Queen! Let's keep going. I open my mouth to speak, but that's as far as I get. The horologium shard I need to stay alive is on board the Nautilus. Like Impy says, if we back down now, I will definitely die. But... is it really alright to get everyone else involved in this risk that could cost the others their lives? They could all die because of me.
Well, actually, if Nemo destroys London, everybody could die if you quit. A lot more people. You better not be thinking that you can't put us all in danger just over you.
What? I blurt out the question in surprise, feeling like he's read my mind. The next thing I hear is a long sigh, carried clearly, even through the voice tube.
If that's what you're thinking, you're completely off the mark. This isn't only about you, you twit. Hey, Van Helsing, that's a little harsh, don't you think? Perhaps, but what he's saying is true. Miss Cardia, think about it. One of this mission's objectives is to save your life, yes, but it isn't entirely to do that.
Oh.
When it comes down to it, saving you is only one of the elements of the plan. Exactly. If we don't bring that thing down here, it'll cut everyone's life short.
That's right. That's what I said. That's why I made the decision I did. I'd been so focused on myself, but Queen Victoria and all the British soldiers taking part in the battle. So many people are risking their lives to give us a chance at stopping the Nautilus. If we were to turn back now, it would mean that all their sacrifices would be in vain. I'm sorry, everyone. Let's keep going. The others respond with varying cheers and acknowledgements through their voice tubes.
We're all clear so far. It doesn't look like our guys know where we are yet. No problem here with the gas bags. We can fly pretty much wherever we want. The one engine we have left is doing well. If you're going to keep flying recklessly, we could use the other one.
As Impy listens to the reports from the others, he winks at me.
Now, let's do this for real. Your lives are all in good hands. Ugh, I never thought I'd have to hand my life over to you. What? You have some objection? Yes, I can't recall having an objection this big for a while. We may not live to see tomorrow. I'll go ahead and put a quick prayer in for us, so that we'll be welcome to heaven just in case.
Nobody trusts you, Impy. I can't help but giggle at the reactions of the others. I can't see their faces through the tubes, but they're probably all speaking with big smiles. Everyone is counting on Impy as a reliable member of the team. Impy himself has an unclouded grin, a reflection of how we all feel at the moment. Impy, our fates are in your hands. Let's make this work, no matter what.
Leave it to me! The more people believe in me, the better I perform! Even after they all just said they didn't believe in him.
Impy points the airship towards a space between the clouds, and at the right moment, pulls on a lever beside the steering wheel. The airship releases steam, and flies toward the Nautilus, straight as an arrow.
The enemy's opening fire! Evade! No, we're going to keep going.
Impy keeps the airship going full steam ahead, not wasting even a single moment to dodge the incoming shots. The cannon fire is drawn towards the airship as if by magnets. A huge jolt shakes the airship. The Nautilus is only a stone's throw away now.
Lupin, take over the helm! Me?
Lupin tisks as he rushes into the cabin and takes the wheel in Impy's stead. He sees the smoke rising from all around the room and clutches his head in his hands.
Damn it! This boat's about to go down! Hang in there just a little longer. We need to get right above the Nautilus. Hey, wait! How are we going to retrieve the two of you? We'll figure something out. Or maybe they'll just go to the moon together. With Nemo. The three of them. And a bunch of Twilight soldiers.
If what Nemo said in his announcement is true, there should be smaller aircraft inside. We'll take one of those. Impy and I answer at the same time. Lupin looks at us in surprise, then grins.
Ha! You guys make a pretty good team. Fine, we'll be above the Nautilus in no time. Get ready.
Impy guides me out onto the deck. The wind furiously blows through my hair, and the sound of cannon fire battering the ship assaults my ears. Impy, what now?
We've made it this far. There's only one way to do this. Jump?
With this, he picks me up with ease. Then he smiles mischievously and stands at the edge of the railing.
All right, Cardia, hang on tight.
You're not going to jump, are you?
Sure I am. The magnetic generator won't be of any use from outside the Nautilus's thick outer armor. For maximum effectiveness, we can't avoid going inside. Well, plus they need to go inside to get the horologium.
Impy narrows his eyes and points to a spot on the Nautilus's deck. I follow his finger and see some windows.
See those windows? They're definitely reinforced glass, but luckily for us, they've been cracked from the cannon's fire. So, we'll break through it and enter using the momentum of our fall.
Explosions go off nearby, and the ship rattles once more. One step forward, and we'll fall right into a serene sea of sky and clouds. Obviously, we don't have any sort of lifeline. If anything goes wrong, we'll plummet to the ground far below. Are you serious?
Didn't I tell you before? With your love, I can fly.
Impy smiles kindly, then gently presses my face against his cheek.
Close your eyes if you're scared. Just concentrate on the warmth of my body. If it means there's a way to save you, I'll force myself to fly. I'll go anywhere.
Impy has to be worried about this too, but he's still doing it, for the sake of the mission, and for me. He's trying to make this happen, no matter how dangerous it is. Impy, like I said earlier, I trust you. He nods in response, then glares at the Nautilus, trying to gauge when it gets close enough.
Here we go, Cardia. 3, 2, 1.
It all happens so quickly. Impy kicks off the deck. He does it without any hesitation, and still embracing me. We fly through the sunset. Our clothing flaps in the fierce wind. I cling to him tightly, feeling the warmth of his body around me. Then, in the next moment...
Yeah!
Impy kicks in the glass, and I feel an instant of impact. There is a moment of vibration, and the sound of glass shattering around us. I open my eyes for just a moment, and I see pieces of glass sparkling all around us, scattering the light of the sunset like diamonds. I start to call out his name, but stop myself. Even though we could have died with one wrong move, Impy is smiling joyfully, like a little boy. His smile gives me courage and tells me that there is nothing to worry about. There is the sound of things smashing around us, and I feel the impact of our landing. Our momentum was slowed somewhat by our breaking through the glass, but the landing is still a bone-numbing jolt that lances through me. If I felt that much with Impy protecting me, I can only imagine how much harder it must have been for Impy. Still holding me, Impy scrunches up his face and stands there motionlessly. Are you all right, Impy?
Totally fine. Vampires are much sturdier than humans, you know.
You look like you're in pain.
Really, I'm fine. Look, we made it in.
Impy is very obviously hurting as he looks around us. For now, there doesn't seem to be any enemies approaching us. But if things are the same as when we were last captured here, there will be Twilight soldiers aboard the Nautilus. That was a pretty flashy entrance, so it's probably only a matter of time before the enemies start to arrive. Let's hurry, Impy. I'm still a bit hazy, but I have him put me down. A wave of severe dizziness and nausea washes over me. I see sparks and feel a sudden crushing headache as if I'm not getting enough oxygen. This is probably not because of the impact from our landing. Protecting the horologium with one hand, I turn back to Impy. First, we need to use that device.
Right. How's this?
He raises the device above his head, then dramatically presses a button on it. I don't think anything's happening.
Huh? That's weird. Hold on. I was expecting something like rumble, and some changes on the Nautilus, but
No matter how hard we listen, we don't hear any noises like that.
maybe it got knocked out of whack from the impact of our landing. Damn, it is a pretty delicate instrument.
As Impy fumbles around with the device, a loud piercing sound suddenly goes off. That must be some kind of emergency signal for the crew.
What? Did they find out we're here?
It probably couldn't have been avoided with an entrance that loud. Just as he says that, a large number of Twilight soldiers emerge from around the corner. There are 10 of them in this first group. More are coming from behind. Impy and I nod to each other. Then we turn our backs to the soldiers and begin running at top speed. What are we going to do, Impy?
We don't have much of a choice. We've got to make a change in plans.
So, what do we do now?
We'll take the gravity alleviator.
Just as Impy grins, a group of Twilight soldiers appears directly ahead of us.
Out of my way.
Impy avoids a sword thrust and jumps. With an elegant double spin kick, he knocks 2 of the soldiers aside. It all happens in a matter of seconds. His moves are incredibly fast. Wow. Impy turns back to me with a serious expression.
I have an idea where the device will be kept. It might be a little difficult to get there, though.
Do you have anything that can help us with our trip there?
Well, I'm kind of empty-handed at the moment. Sorry to let you down.
Impy bows to me, mockingly in apology, then looks serious once more.
Cardia, the missing piece of your horologium should be there too.
I give him a nod and continue running. I just hope I can keep going a little while longer. I hope against all odds. Okay, and on that note, we're going to end this video, and hopefully we'll be finished our venture aboard the Nautilus here in the next episode. And I have the feeling, well, actually, I kind of had the feeling we were going to be approaching an ending a while ago, but it's going on pretty good. But that's good to me because I like a nicely written story, and it's good that they're filling it out nicely without dragging things out in a boring way or anything like that. I think it's been written pretty well. So join me for the next episode if you like, or perhaps you'd like to take a look at some of my other videos. And I'd be so grateful for any likes, comments, subscriptions, or shares with your friends to show some support. Thank you so much for joining me, and I wish you all health, happiness, and safety. Dirili signing out. Bye-bye, everybody.